Welcome to the Cedar Park United podcast. Today's guest speaker, Suzanne Scarrow, is Executive Director of West Island Mission, a cherished community partner of Cedar Park United. Suzanne invites us to reflect on the real needs in our community and how we can respond, recognizing that food is only the beginning. Enough for everyone, she says, doesn't start with a warehouse full of supplies. It starts with a heart that notices. It starts with someone saying, "I see you. You're not alone. You can sit with us. Let me help carry this." That's the kind of world we hope to build. And it's the kind of world Suzanne sees Cedar Park United helping to build too. One meal, one hamper, one conversation at a time.
Good morning, everyone. The last time I was in this sanctuary, I think we had about 5 crock pots going, and there was turkeys in them. So it's nice to be speaking here when the sun's coming in, and it's not. It is freezing cold out, but it's not dark. So, good morning, everyone. Good morning. First, thanks for having me here today. It's truly a gift to be with you. Thanks for trusting me with the microphone. Anyone that knows me know I have a bit of a gift for the gab, so here we go. So thinking about the food bank and what I was going to say and what it should sound like, there was 2 different settings. We should probably talk about food, and we should definitely talk about food. And I'm not really going to talk about that. We're going to find a balance. Have a little bit of laughter and a little bit of truth, and hopefully something that lands in each of your hearts. Quick show of hands, who here has had those days where you open up the fridge, maybe it's your kids, and thought there's nothing to eat, and then open it again 5 minutes later, like something might have magically appeared? Okay, good. We all share the same coping strategy. Enough for everyone sounds simple until you're the one trying to organize it. When speaking to Ian over the last couple of weeks, when we settled on the verses and the theme, enough for everyone, I love that phrase. It's warm, it's hopeful, it's the kind of thing you want to print on a mug. But it's also one of those phrases that can feel almost too ideal. Because the minute you step into the real world, you start asking questions like, enough groceries for how many families? Enough time for how many crises? Enough volunteers for how many needs? Enough energy for how many people you love? Enough money for how many bills? And then if you work at a food bank, you add in a few more. Enough peanut butter for the entire West Island? Because I'm pretty sure peanut butter is officially the currency of food banks. Enough diapers, enough milk, enough eggs, enough dignity, enough safety, enough support. Because hunger isn't only about the empty stomach. Sometimes hunger looks like anxiety. Sometimes it looks like grief. Sometimes hunger looks like loneliness. Sometimes hunger looks like the mom sitting in her car before coming in, working up the courage to ask for help. So when we say enough for everyone, we're not just talking about full plates. We're talking about full lives. What does West Island look like from the inside? We have a volunteer who's here, so she sees that every Wednesday when we serve. Let me bring you into a bit of our world for a moment. So West Island Mission exists to support our community in practical ways. And yes, food is a big part of that. But what we do is bigger than food. A food bank is the one of the few places, church may be one of them as well, where life shows up exactly as it is. People come on their best days. People come in on their worst days. People come in when they're celebrating a new job. People come in when they've just lost one. People come in when they're holding it together, and people come in when they're not. What always amazes me about this is no one comes to the food bank because it's a fun hobby. No one comes, no one says, hey, let's go do, that sounds relaxing, let's go. Asking strangers for groceries. People come because something happened. Rent went up, a relationship broke down, a health diagnosis hit, a job disappeared, a refugee claim is still in process, a senior's pension doesn't stretch, a family is one expected expense away from collapse. More and more, that's what we're seeing. People who are working, trying, but still don't have enough. Which is why enough for everyone isn't just a theme. It's a question we live with every day. The truth about enough, we don't create it, we share it. Now here's something I want to say clearly. West Island Mission, we don't just produce, yes, we have gardens, but we don't produce food. We're not growing carrots in the back, even though, yeah, we kind of are. We're not secretly running a bread factory. We're not the Food Bank Fairy Godmother Association of Quebec. What we do is we collect, organize, steward, and share what already exists. And in many ways, that's what the church is meant to look like as well. Not we have unlimited resources, but we have open hands, we have willing hearts, and we have a community that notices. And when a community notices, something powerful happens. Because enough doesn't always mean the same to everyone or the same amount. It means no one is forgotten, no one is left alone, no one is left behind. That's what enough looks like for us. You guys do a fun event called Supper Together. We're happy to be involved with that. It's kind of like the gospel with napkins. I want to take a moment and talk about something that we absolutely love about Supper Together meal. I want you to know that what you're doing matters. It's not just a meal. It's not just food. It's community care. It's hospitality. It's the kind of thing that seems simple from the outside, but is deeply holy when you're the one receiving it. Because a meal says, you belong here. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to earn your seat. And you don't have to be okay to be welcomed. That's not charity, that's family. And West Island Mission is honored to be part of that with you guys. You're not just feeding people, you're restoring people. A lot of people are hungry for food, but many are hungry for something else too. Connection, respect, peace, a sense that their lives still matter. So when you offer a meal with kindness, you are offering something that lasts longer than dinner. Martha and I have talked about this for a couple of years since it started, and I think it's a really nice movement, and we're honored to be a small piece of that. The psychosocial side of our organization, because sometimes the need is invisible. Now that, our psychosocial department is very close to my heart. We've learned something very important. Sometimes food is the first need people mention, but it's not the deepest need they're carrying. Sometimes what people need most is someone to listen, someone to help them navigate services, someone to advocate, and someone to help them feel human again. You know, we're living in a time where people are exhausted, people are overwhelmed, and not always in dramatic ways. Sometimes it's quiet, a parent who can't sleep, a teen who is anxious all the time, a senior who hasn't had a real conversation in weeks, a person who has survived trauma and doesn't have the words for it yet. And in those moments, food assistance is a lifeline, but it's not the whole bridge. That's why our psychosocial department, the care of it matters. Because we don't just want to say, here's your food, good luck out there. We want to say, you matter, and you don't have to do this alone. Enough for everyone includes dignity. One of the biggest misconceptions about a food bank is that it's only about food. At West Island Mission, the last thing we want anybody to feel is that they've been handed a box and that's as good as it gets. But what we're really distributing every single day is dignity. Dignity is not a luxury item. Dignity is not something you get once you've earned it back. Dignity is something every person is born with. And when people walk through our doors, we want them to feel respected, safe, welcomed, and most of all, seen. It's hard enough to ask for help, but no one needs to be shamed. No one needs shame added on top. So we work hard to make sure that what we offer is not only practical, but human. And honestly, sometimes it looks like very small things. A warm hello, a joke, a familiar face, someone remembering your name, someone saying, "How are you really doing?" If you drop by West Island Mission on a Wednesday, chances are you're going to see me bouncing a baby or chatting in the hall with clients, walking up and down. That's our work. That stuff is important because it normalizes poverty on the West Island and it makes people feel like we're all on the same playing field. Tiny things, those are tiny things that are not tiny. They are building blocks of hope. What have I learned at the food or from the food bank? Working in this space changes you. Here are a few things about the food bank. Here are a few things the food bank teaches us, whether you want the lesson or not. Lesson number 1, people are not their crisis. Someone might come in needing help today, but they are not defined by that need. They are a whole person with a story, a history, strengths, skills, and dreams. Lesson number 2, the line between me and them is thinner than we think. A lot of people believe food insecurity happens to other people. But in reality, many of our clients are one emergency away from needing help. And many of us are one emergency away from understanding. Lesson number 3, community is a miracle that looks ordinary. A donated box of pasta doesn't look miraculous, but when it becomes dinner for a family, it's a miracle. A volunteer stocking shelves doesn't look miraculous, but when it becomes stability for someone in crisis, that's a miracle. A church hosting a meal that doesn't look miraculous, but when it becomes belonging for someone who felt invisible, that's a miracle. A little humor, because if we can't laugh, we'll probably cry. Can I share something honest? Food bank work is deeply meaningful, but it's also unpredictable. Some days are smooth. Some days you open the door and it's like, okay, big guy, we're going to need divine organization today. We've had moments where we're trying to solve huge social issues while also trying to question, where did the lentils go? Why is there cat food in the tuna box? Why does the zucchini here look like the size of a canoe? My personal favorite, when someone donates something very creative. Like the one time we got a donation that made me pause and think. This is either extremely generous or someone is cleaning out their pantry and using us as an emotional closure. I'll let that one sit for a moment. Because food banks see things. Food banks have stories. And sometimes laughter is what keeps you going. Not because the work isn't serious, but because it's sacred. And my goodness, I feel blessed every day for that work. What do we need from the church? And what are you guys already doing? What does West Island Mission need? We need food, yes. 365 days a year we serve, not just at Christmas. All the time, we're open every week, and we have droves of people coming through the door right now. We need funding, yes. We pay $13,000 a month rent. We are not government funded. So yeah, we need money. We need volunteers, always. Because of the need that's rising, Patricia's run off her feet every single Wednesday because more people keep showing up that didn't have an appointment, and we will not serve them. We need people who believe in enough. Not in a naive way, not in a close your eyes and hope way, but in a grounded way that says, we will not accept a world where people are disposable. We will not accept that people feast while others panic. We will not accept that poverty is a personal failure. We need people who believe compassion is powerful, generosity is contagious, and community is stronger than scarcity. And the good news is, you guys already do that. Every time you host supper together, Bread and Beyond, sandwich making, seniors programs, every time you welcome someone, every time you give, serve, pray, donate, show up, you're proving that enough is possible. Enough for everyone begins with noticing. So as I close today, I want to leave you with something simple. Enough for everyone doesn't start with a warehouse full of supplies. It starts with a heart that notices. It starts with someone saying, I see you. You're not alone. You can sit with us. Here, let me help you carry this. That's the kind of world we hope to build. It's the kind of world you are building too. One meal, one hamper, one conversation at a time. So thank you. Thank you for being the kind of church that doesn't just talk about love, but puts it in a pot, puts it on a plate, puts it in a grocery bag, and serves it with dignity. May we continue to be people who live life as if it's the truth. There is enough for everyone. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you for listening to the Cedar Park United podcast. If it inspired you, or comforted you, or even ruffled your feathers in a good way, please consider leaving a positive rating or subscribing to help others find their way here too. It matters.